Hello, greetings. My wait, I should call it the Citizens of X United. Woo! Anyway, I've been on TikTok a lot. And so when I come over here, I appreciate to see news that I'm really interested in and see that my algorithm over here stays conducive to me, and I don't have to see the propaganda and the bullshit, which I'm noticing on TikTok. Like, so much has changed. I'm not really here to talk about that. I do not appreciate what it feels like Facebook, but I feel like I have this power to change my algorithm there too. I just have to be consistent in what I'm watching and what I'm not watching, what I'm liking, what I'm not liking. And I haven't liked anything. Like, yesterday was horrible. It was all about the food stamp thing and the Native Americans and the immigration thing, and today it's about tripping people up, trying to say there's this war with Trump and Elon, and it's like over there. And people, what was most horrible was that, and this is interesting because I had just stated a comment about if someone had posed, if the migrants don't go or are not accepted right onto their, in Mexico, wherever they're gonna take them, like Mexico denied access. And so there was this guy explaining, that America would have to travel like 8,400 miles and gas up at certain situations to like go around and like drop them like down into the Chiapa region or Guatemala. And that was my first thought, is that if they have to bypass Mexico, they'll go down to Guadalupe, Gua, Guadalajara. Is that the name? Well, I know as where the Chiapas are, and then down southern, southern from that. So, and that's scary because I love that area. It's very sacred, and these people are calm and peaceful, and they love Jesus. So I keep up with that region. Anyway, that's not the point either. But it's just how this AI infused world is becoming. And and so I don't have a dog in the fight, I'm just kind of like watching it, being a spectator, being like, okay, like this is really happening. Wow. So what does this mean in my purview, which really is nothing, but I just kind of want to wrap it up because I do have context to add to this, because what's most important here is when I see like little aspects occurring that I've been waiting for and they just happen, my mind is blown. And I believe in a collective conscious now more than ever that we can shift, even though evil is so prevalent. Yes, even in the White House. I don't care. I don't have it. Like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I see the workings of Satan and manifesting through our leaders. And whether red or blue, like I said, I am against the Bush. The Bush is the main devil, son of the devil, that is bringing to fruit his father's will. So his father's will is now my father's will, and so they really are pointless in this faction. But they are coming against the chosen. They are coming against us, like Psalm 2 said. The kings of the earth, they look upon the people, the human people, but mostly the chosen of Yah, those are his people. In humanity, we are his creation. We have souls. We are moving through this wilderness, and that's why the position to get in your faith in the blood of Jesus is so critical now, to make your stance, to know where you are, to know who you are and who you and what your future is, okay? But right now, these are the enemies of Yah surrounding the people of Yah. So when you see them coming after the Native Americans, when you see them coming after the Mexicanos, when you see them coming after Africanos, when you see them, okay, to them it's black and white, but to us and to Yeshua, it is nothing like that. To Yeshua, he's only looking at where your heart is with him. Do you know him? Have you given him your life? So, and I'm not, I view that too because I want Yah's heart, so I want to represent his heart. Um, as well. And with truth being so revealed, and many people, that's the one thing about this collective is that we're learning from each other, and it's beyond boundaries, which is what I love. And I'm starting to believe that USA here is really the land of milk and honey. We've been so enriched, blessed. There's so many, everything we need here to survive. And I've seen that we've been lied to for so long. So I always am in a question of history and those dynamics. And so we've been blessed so abundantly. And what I have seen, I guess, in just this last 2 weeks is like, this is a real threat against humanity coming from concepts of Satan's kingdom that has been trying to flourish for so long, like I speak about since 962. I want to talk about the beginning of the Vatican, February 11th, 962. That's why the 211 number is so important. But we're tracking the end of Satan's kingdom. So that beginning of Satan's kingdom on earth began in 962 with the Holy See of Vatican, Holy Seat of Satan, which again, the first terminology of the Vatican seat was the Holy Seat. And they changed it to Holy See. Anyway, um, and a lot of right now with the fruition of this last point, which what Donald Trump called was the dawn of the golden age, at the beginning of. I want to let you know that no, this isn't the beginning of this golden dawn age. This is the end. And because Satan, Lucifer, the loser, and all his kingdom knows their time is short, they are scrambling to come against the people and to destroy them because they hate them. Um, they hate creation because they're operating in fallen angel, demonic, devil, and they have kings and leaders, okay? And so Trump is apparently a leader because he's the final Trump. He's the last trumpet in this final dawn era that they're and let me just say the 10 kings are under the deception that they're going to get 1,000-year rule and reign, and everyone operating in that steed is they're just puppets for the devil. So you just let it happen. I'm understanding now you can't save everyone. Like, this is what do what only you can do. So anyway, I want to just understand though that the fear and the torment and the lies of the enemy have gone on too long, and all they can do now is perpetuate this hatred onto America and to the people. And what's so sad is that they take it hook, line, and sinker because the days are evil and people are inherently evil. So okay, so I was talking about, or looking at how Trump's going to get these immigrants to Mexico, and then I was thinking about how the Pope Francis, who was Jorge Bergoglio, another George, like we need another fucking George, right? But there's so many Georges, and they operate in their father, the devil. Okay, so and know that Yah has given them this time now because Yah has put in their heart to do all these things, literally now in our time. So the fruiting of it is wicked. And I never thought that I would see my fellow Americans hating, hating human flesh and blood people to the point that they would say, well, why don't you just drop them in the ocean? Who needs a parachute? Just drop them off the plane. And that was kind of like my first thought when I thought about what this administration possibly, would do if they couldn't drop him in Mexico. I was like, well, they could probably do what Jorge Bergoglio did during the Dirty War when he dropped his own faithful people into the rivers of Argentina. And I thought to myself, I just thought out to myself, and then I see this video where someone posted, and it was satire, but it was like posting how to deal with them. It's not funny. I'm laughing because of the correlation. And the correlation was meant to say this is how Trump should deal with it, by dropping them with parachutes over Mexico, over at least land or something. And and then I looked at the comments, because normally I don't read comments and see what people are saying, but I thought, oh, I'll go read these. And it was American people saying, why even use parachutes? It's a waste of time to even use a parachute. Just drop them in the ocean over and over and over again. And then I saw this food stamp thing about Trump's gonna take away everyone's food stamps, and you're gonna have to work now, and da 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 da, and da da, and Section 8's gonna go away. And then I see all these people laughing. Oh, ha ha ha! You're gonna get, yeah, ha ha ha! And everyone's like fighting over that, and I'm like, God, these people. And then so I have to go to Grok like all the time, and I have to like, I ask him, like, did Trump really make a declaration, da 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 da. And of course they're going to change food stamps, logically thinking, like, because the migrants were getting food stamps and possibly housing and other benefits. I don't know, because I really don't care about all that. And but so I have to come back and ask Grok, hey, did Elon and Trump have a fight, and da 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 da, and then, or did, so I'm going to TikTok, and I'm seeing these huge waves of mass confusion, mass hatred, and I'm just like, wow, this feels like Facebook 2.0 for real. But in the spirit of it, yet, gosh, how wicked, how evil people can be to each other. And I'm like, we don't need a civil war. We don't need a World War III when the people can rise up and fight against themselves, And that's so perfect for chaos and for order out of chaos. So Trump is getting a lot of order done out of this chaos and in the shadows of the bush that we have trusted and we have covenanted with, and they have covenanted with in death, just by, even our birth certificate, etc. But we are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Therefore, we go about this life and we live it. And so thankfully today my TikTok was more on point with like the spiritual sense, like, because I want to align with spiritual people. And there's people finding really cool ways of getting a point without speaking the point. And I really love that, because it speaks to my spirit. And it's kind of like, read between the lines, or read between how this is actually meant for your spirit to connect with their spirit. And that's what I'm learning about this consciousness, is that we're adding to each other's knowledge and wisdom. And it's not in a sentient, or it's probably something even AI can't fathom, which is interesting. So the point being, though, is I know there's a lot of fear when it comes to humanity seeing this, and it's going to uproot them in their place of peace where Yah actually wants us. And so in that, I'm just reminded that I was talking about the key of David, which is knowing the 42 generations from Yeshua to Abraham. And this had so much to do with the schism of 1054. And so yesterday, I am reading, I didn't even read the article, I just saw the headline, okay, because I'm a lazy bitch and I haven't been feeling good, but I'm going to go back and read. But I've been waiting for the 10 kings and the mother to heal the schism of 1054, which would align not with the beginning of the Golden Dawn era, okay, but with its ending. Okay, because we're at the 1066 year of Satan's kingdom coming to an end. He's had this time on the planet, and Yah has only allowed so much to get done over time in alignment with what their goals are. You see, they've had these goals for 1,066 years now, so now he's using the players to align it, and the people, and if you want to call them that, the devils that are in people, to usher this in. And so it's us again. It really is us against them. And we may feel powerless, but we are not powerless. I mean, it's so easy for them to use these social media platforms to spew their bullshit and their lies and their hatred, and then we jump in because we don't understand. We have lack of knowledge of what's really happening, and really people are filled with these spirits of hate because they have never surrendered to Yeshua, and they're just living their life a body as filled with hatred, filled with whatever vitriol, filled with the ideas of the world, that we have these classes, and we have I'm better than you because my skin is white, or I'm better than you because I have PhD, or I'm better than you. And so people are, and you're no good because my tax dollars pay for your food, and you're not allowed, you don't deserve sugar, because so we're there. So the leaders are playing on that, and they're playing us against each other based on exactly how they know we operate as dead humans, and we don't think, and we don't look into stuff, and we're just going along with. Mind you, I wish the American people would be more upset that 3/4 of our budget are used for military industrial complex. That also goes out to foreign wars. That's paying for genocide of children, of the next generation of our own people, right here on our own soil. Like, what's going on with that help sign in California that was revealed? This is what's so cool, is that Yah is revealing these atrocities in our face, and we don't even care. I just saw that this help sign in California that was revealed, and then these tunnels where that had air conditioning and such, and like toys and stuff were found around it, and now the entrances have been filled with dirt, so they're covering up their tracks. But I'm thinking, wow, there's so much being unveiled just in the fires about tunnels and human trafficking and the evils of mankind upon our own people, upon humanity. And because these are lesser than, but it was always everything about immigration has been a ploy to use these people for the benefit of whatever they needed. And now it's shifting. And now, they're talking about imprisoning them and using them as forced labor. We're going back into slavery. Well, this is nothing new, but this is something happening before our eyes. That is the enslavement. We're already slaves here in the system, but this is like further enslaving Israel because of the curse of unbelief. And we have asked our leaders to rule over us, and now they have imprisoned us and found crafty ways in how to benefit from that, which is so evil to me. And so this encroachment from sadly, this administration, call it good or bad, it's all the government of the Bush. And its playbook, and Trump being the proud, pompous magician that he is, yielding chaos here and there, thinking that he's going to he's going to prosper in this. But I just want to put a public notice that you're not going to prosper, okay? Because I believe that humanity in their consciousness will combat this consciously, to recognize, like, even if it's just 1 or 10 or 5, if we just started to worship and pray and seek truth and seek Yah in a pure way, like with a pure heart, and adore him and love him and get back to him, just like the natives are. They really are. And that's a super threat to them. Even if we are sent to prison, okay, whatever. Praise Yah and break the chains. And because what did Jericho do? They praised Yah, they sang to him, they played their instruments for him, and they broke down the walls of Jericho. And that's kind of like what we're facing here spiritually, is that the man wants to imprison over our minds and hearts who we really truly are, and who we can truly become in the goodness and love and the hope of Yah, the hope of glory, his hope of glory that is so quickly coming, mind you, and rage against humanity to enslave us by even making, the earth. Because when I think of Starlink, I think of the power they have in these satellites, these billionaire men and people, and they have the power to influence us on such a level, that it's maddening. It's dividing us, and it all it is a device. Like when you think about it, it's a device that we're giving it power, and that we're giving it our energy, we're giving it our fear, we're pouring into it our interest, yada yada yada. And in that, they're enslaving us by feeding us whatever it is they deem necessary to, and information. They want us to know the information that they want us to know, so they're enslaving us, but they've been enslaving us through the mind for so long. And this is basically all we know. So of course it's going to be a bit fear mongering. But like I said, if they can get us divided against each other, even as a human to human, and hoping death on people, okay, then they don't need a World War III. They don't need to come at us with armaments from other countries. If they can keep us in mystery and wonder and hatred and vitriol and hating our enemies, hating our neighbors, then they win. Okay, so what do we do? This is what I'm thinking. What do I do? And my mind just was returned and actually inspired by other people who are out there, talking about the word, giving their understanding. And it just hit me that all we can do to win this battle is to turn our heads up, look up, and praise him and thank him and stay in these moments of peace and gratitude and hope and truth, and know that he's coming and that he is going to recompense with vengeance and fire to cleanse everything they've done. And just like California, the fire is cleansing the land, and we see the signs, this pure sign that something very wicked underneath us is happening. And these are people crying out for help. And 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 all of a sudden now there's this what is it? I just want to say there's these people out there saying, "Oh, it's art. It's just an art piece." They're trying to brush it under the rug, and someone made a good point. They're like, "Hey, you can go to Area 51. Thousands of you will go to Area 51 to storm the gates, but probably nobody will go to see what's going on in this region, and why is there someone making a help sign?" you know and I thought that's probably true, but I want to hope better in humanity. I want to hope that we can rise above this hatred and rise above this simple-mindedness, and change it by just a collective consciousness, because I believe this consciousness is so huge right now, and it's being verified through science and AI in itself. And to breathe into it life, to breathe into it love, to breathe into it the teachings of Yeshua, and actually come against darkness, but come against it also with force. Like, yes, we are to be loving and a people who want to love our neighbors and love our Father, but I also want to render force with force, if not more force. So breaking down their constructs of dark matter, darkness, dark goo, dark evil, dark sentience, and in Yeshua's mighty name and destroying the fabric of what they're doing, because they're working with the weavings of a very fine fabric that is easily breakable when you see beyond it and you know that you're the one that they're coming after because they hate you. It's in Psalm 2. And they're gathering together because they want to think of ways on how to enslave us, how to make us fight, how to keep us in mindsets in our sin, how to keep us enslaved by demonic influence or demons within ourselves. And Yeshua wants us to come to him, all who are weary and tired and lonely, and come to him with this like brokenness. So I'm trying to get out of my own little bump in the road here too, and it just reminds me how much more I need him, and how he's really the only one that's going to help me. And the world will say, well, nobody wants you because nobody likes you, because nobody thinks you're beautiful enough, or you're just not good enough. And I hear that in the background, and I think it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care if you don't want me. I don't care if you don't find me appeasing to you. I'm not here to fucking please you. I'm not here to be what it is that you think I should be. I need to be what my father says I'm going to be. And that takes turning away from a lot of shit from the world, But I've learned the world has nothing really to offer me except a whole lot of heartache. And then I look at the beautiful blessings I have in my family and in the time I have, and I'm just so grateful. And the voices in the background don't matter. They're just liars and thieves. And I pray for them, though. I pray that they do come to the knowledge of truth and to their salvation and to their healing. And I forgive them, too, because it's so important to forgive and let it be, however it's going to be. But I don't want to give up hope that united we are stronger in a consciousness that is with Christ and in his blood and in the purpose of truth, and actually just getting ourselves right one by one, to break those chains and to tear down those walls in our heart, those stony walls and the stubbornness and the ego and the pride that we've built up and the mindsets, and to seek to be free and delivered from the things that are keeping us enslaved by sin, by sex, by lust, by perversity, by all these things. I pray that we collectively can pray for each other and become like the Acts Church, where miracles and work through our hands, like healing, and I really want to believe that still, even in our mindset as a globe conscience. And even though they have their interconnection ideologies, we can do the same. And that's what I love about people coming to connect on a global spectrum and sort of using their own platform to come against them in a sense of, hey, we are so powerful when we break free from the constructs of our old thoughts and our old patterns and surrender to Yeshua and find him and or seek him. But now I'm understanding why Yeshua wrote to us to look up. When you see all these things, don't worry about it. Like, don't pay it no mind. Just look up and thank him. He's the creator of everything, and he is so coming so soon. So I want to end this on the point that what's so interesting is the 1054 schism was spoken about yesterday, and I see the Pope sitting across from the Orthodoxy, and it's been everything I've been waiting for. It's like, yes! Yes, 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 because this is the mark and the call and the watch when the Pope is going to Moscow. And so the Pope is going to appeal. What is he going to do? I said it years ago, and it wasn't like a revelation. It was just my common sense coming along with what I was learning and the knowledge in this key of David, understanding the 42 generations. And I understood like that the mother's power was going to end, but since they hate her, and since she is such a movable whore, being a Jesuit nonetheless, who also supplants truth, which is why Trump is supplanting the Constitution, and he's getting away with it because it's his time. It's their time. Anyway, they're all players in this. They're easily immovable, but the mother is now talking about what? Moving Easter to a formidable date. And I bet that means a formidable date that is aligned with Orthodoxy Christianity and with the 10 Kings, because just calling it the masculine side of Christianity and the 10 Kings equals Christianity. Okay, I view it as Catholicism. There's Catholicism and then there's Christianity we see on the Western realm. So I'm saying that for us to recognize it on two parts and why they've been at war with each other, and now the 1054 schism was that reason, is that they couldn't align, and they couldn't align in doctrine and all these theologies. So, but the one thing they all have in common is the Trinity, the 1,000-year rule and reign, and the pre-tribulation rapture, which was taught by Jesuits, okay? Which throws off the watch to be a futuristic ideology. And then the Christians think, well, I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to get out of here during the rapture, yada, yada, yada. Okay, which I'm just trying to say that all three of them, if one can't align with the other, then they are all tossed out. These three doctrines should be tossed out and should have never been taught, along with the Trinity, but that's neither here nor there. But these this great schism of 1054 is and seeing the posturing of the mother actually just sitting next to, right? It's kind of like East and West aligning, talking about healing. They're going to heal the schism of 1054. So that means that the mother is now prepared and ready to transfer her power and give it to the kings to their final hour. That's in Revelation 17. So it's little by little, it's bit by bit, but it's all coming together. And now she's also being movable when it comes to times and dates, which will also equal like Christmas. Like, for an instance, if they had time. But to me, it just represents my Father's word and what he's put in their hearts to do, to come to the table now. And that's why it's so important. And this is why I know Yeshua is coming, is because now as they're doing this formidable, movable way, and the mother right now, she's in a very vulnerable place, sort of like Trump too. He's very vulnerable. He needs money. That's why he's going to billionaires and tech industry and sort of like taking probably underhanded deals. He'll do anything to position his weight. What is he going to do now? Move Palestinians out of Gaza because all he cares about is the future of his industry and real estate market there in Jerusalem. That, when really that's what's in his heart. And it's, and it's always about now keeping, taking on his future, making sure his sons and daughters see this through. And that's why they're such a friend to Israel. And that's why America will fund even more bombs and for the plight of Bibi Netanyahu, because they're all in this together in the synagogues of Satan. And they think they got 1,000-year rule coming in, but my Father has deceived you all by your own lust, by your own flesh, by your own desire. And I laugh at you like he laughs at you because you motherfuckers are done. And that's why when I see the 1054 schism healing, I'm seeing the end of Satan's kingdom once and for all, and the rise of his people. And that's why I think we should do it now, that we should get in a conscious now to flip the table over them, because their patterns and their weaves are designed on very frail webs of lies and deceit, and all it takes is for someone to stand up and rip it down with some faith, with some prayer, with some truth, with some praise to Yah, and love each other, and pray for each other, and hold each other's hands, even if we can't actually hold hands, but to come together with a desire to love and break these bondages, whether it's within our own lives, generationally, in our own minds, whatever it is you're struggling with. So yeah, and don't be afraid, and be like David and dance for Yeshua. Who cares what the world fucking thinks right now? Like, it really has nothing to offer us except whatever it is. And this reality here, just within this device here that I'm staring into, and the connection that it has over our mind, is also just a fine, thin web that has the ability to deceive us as well. So the truth is so important right now, and the enemy knows his time is short. So this is why the advancement on humanity looks like this right now. And everyone's going to garner what they can. The rich are going to garner what they can. Why? Because they want to build bigger barns. They have so much. Their whole entire being is just to build bigger barns to hold more of their stuff, because they worship the God of things, and to enslave us more, whether it's imprisoning us through making money on, because they have private prisons and they view us as nothing but property, so we are going through a civil war without actually an actual war, but our enemy is the one who's feeding it to us, and we're just biting it off. So I don't know. That's just my point right now. All I know is that when the Pope's invited to Moscow, which I hope is soon, I hope it's by Easter. I didn't think, okay, I've been thinking Christmas is perfect, but the calendar times and seasons are so messed up. And then this posture today that the Pope is movable on this Easter situation gives me hope. It gives me hope that that the times and seasons, that Yah is moving our time forward quickly. So to be ready, to be prepared, to have our hearts ready to meet the King of all glory, and we will get through this suffering, and we will get through this trying time only by his grace. And I pray, y'all, that you will deliver us all from whatever place we are, and that we will turn our hearts back to you, because you're the only one that can save us and our families. Okay, so I gotta go, but I just wanted to come say that, because I never okay, because when you're being led by the Holy Spirit and being guided and taught along the way, Yah really means what he says when he says, you're going to go through this fire and you're going to go through the water, but I'm going to be with you. And he's going to give people for your life, so I've had to walk this alone, but it's his word is so true, because at every turn point he did it, and I was never overcome by so it's just my own testimony. It's I was never overcome by the fiery flames or by whatever was coming, and I know in the future that no matter what happens, he will be there still, because he's with me now. And so I just testify that he's done that in my life, and this has been long walk, because you're waiting and you're like, okay, but you're reasoning in your head with logic, and I'm like, okay, well, the only way this could happen is if da 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 da. And I'm thinking that in my own head, the Pope's gonna have to be movable. The Pope's gonna have to actually want to change times and dates back. The Pope is gonna want to appease the kings, right? And I'm thinking this years ago, and here it is all happening at once. And so I've just been watching the posturing of it all. And so now I'm just like, man, in just a couple days, these two factions have occurred. And I'm just my mind is blown. And I'm so excited. And I know what this means for me. And it's I'm going to finally be with you. Yeah. And I guess, relatively in wantonness and in desire to be with your love. I can relegate it to also, I feel it and I sense it here humanly towards towards a couple people, but I've always considered that that Satan could use my own flesh to deceive me and make that desire be like towards a person. And but then I'm like, so be watchful, be watchful that the thing that maybe your heart really is desiring, when really my heart desires Yeshua alone, but the devil can use it to manipulate me and desiring something here fleshly, when what I see now, what it really is that this desire for us all to come to him, into the beloved, in a united mind. And so it's bigger than me, and it's bigger than my desire in my flesh, and I know that my true mate is my maker. And I might not be able to have my mate here, but in the next in the next part of this journey, it's gonna be, up to him. So anyway, I gotta go. Thanks for listening if you did, and I pray that the love of Yeshua and his blood and his mercy pour over you, and that you would just be blessed by him and recognize everything he has for you and be thankful. Okay? All right. So take care, and remember to come against the darkness with love. Come against this darkness that's pervading us and our society with love, with gratitude, with the goodness and the fruits of the spirit. And if you don't know what those are, just look it up, because but whatever, just if you're seeking. And I saw this transgendered man, and he wants Christ, and I was like, and he was feeling unwanted, unworthy, that God would ever love him, and it's like it's really society's fault, and this line of confusion and our lack of knowledge. So of course Yeshua wants us. Of course he wants you. Of course he can forgive you. Of course he doesn't think about the sins of your past. That's what the devil does. He wants to always bring that up. But to break these generational curses, to defeat the lies, open up the book and read. Okay? So it's always just a challenge to even, I know, because I remember it was just a challenge to read here a little, there a little, but here a little, there a little, and he will season your life with the salt and the newness of life and truth. And believe him, he'll be with you through every trial. Just give your life to him and look up. Okay, I love you, and Yeshua bless you in Yeshua's name. Bye.